I think many people dismiss happiness. They think it's superficial or that it's not real life, it's not a true emotion, it's very temporary. And I think this is actually a wrong notion. I believe that happiness is important for many reasons. First of all, it's highly desirable because it feels so pleasant. That is, people make decisions in their everyday life. Who should I marry? What kind of job should I get? What should I do this weekend? Because they want to seek out some pleasure and some happiness. And certainly that dovetails with our results across cultures, that people all over the world want happiness and enjoy happiness. But more importantly, happiness doesn't just feel good, it's good for you. Happiness is associated with better health, more altruism and generosity, better social relationships, more creativity, more perseverance at difficult tasks. Happy people show up to work more, they drink alcohol less, they smoke cigarettes less, they fall less, they're more likely to wear their seatbelts more. The list goes on and on. Happiness is associated with a huge amount of desirable outcomes. If I had to guess, I would say that Mexicans do indeed care about happiness. And in fact, Mexico is very similar to many of its Latin American neighbors in that there's what we call a positivity bias. That is, there seems to be an interesting amount of happiness that you find embedded in the culture here, that people tend to be upbeat, they tend to seek out enthusiasm and intense positive emotions. And I think Mexico could potentially be a test case for happiness, not just in Latin America, but for the world in general. Absolutely. I think that the role of government in establishing policy is always a delicate one. I think there's a natural skepticism that if the government somehow wants to make the people happy, that feels a little bit authoritarian, and that people really want the opportunity to decide on their own lives and their own happiness, especially something as personal as how they feel. But I do believe that it's the role of government to remove barriers to happiness, or to promote conditions that allow people as much freedom and flexibility to maximize their own happiness. So things like gender equality, I think, is important. Addressing poverty is important. I think that focusing on educational policy, educating people about emotions, about communication skills, providing employment, are all things that will lead people to feel that they're living a good life and not just getting a paycheck or earning money. I think to some extent it's up to individuals to have a realistic expectation for their own life, that it's okay some days to feel sad, it's okay some days to be disappointment or to be irritated or angry, but most of the days you probably want to be happy, you probably want to be optimistic. So I think that every day, if people accept their own feelings, but that in the larger sense the government has the responsibility to the citizens to create better conditions.